CNBC TV 18, celebrating 16 years of business leadership.
Welcome back. You're watching Taking Stock, and we are taking stock of the week, which also included the last week of 2015 and also the first day of 2016. Dipen Sheth is with us, and we'll be joined by ASHISH Tater as well in a bit. Dipen, before we thank you, we haven't discussed pharma. How would you approach this space, especially after the latest warning letter to Cadila and the kind of big decline that we saw in that stock?
So Anuj, company after company, story after story in pharma has run into what I would say are regulatory hurdles and warning letters and so on. So I'm not an expert on pharma, and I really don't understand much of the mumbo jumbo, let me confess. But to my mind, there is absolutely no doubt that there's a whole list of large and even medium and slightly smaller than medium Indian pharma companies which hold and house tremendous talent, manufacturing talent, and excellent regulatory compliance track records. I would think that some of that has got challenged, but it's not going to go away in a hurry. In fact, it's one of those places where the competitive advantage that we have over, let's say, a China is very much intact. If you come out of APIs and then get into formulations, if you come out of the base building blocks of APIs and get into some of the specialized APIs, I don't think there is any second thought about the fact that India houses some great capabilities. Now, some of these blokes have stumbled. I would think that those of them who can do well, one, who can get over these stumbling blocks, on the regulatory stumbling blocks, and two, who are in niches where pricing power is not going to be as big a deal for them in the large volume generics. So if they are in specialty and niche areas, then I would suspect that some of these guys can make brilliant comebacks. So we've done some work on Cipla recently, for example. And again, headline valuations will probably put you off the stock. But on the large cap pharma guys, I think Cipla is one stock to certainly watch out for. And after the recent crack, I would say Sun and maybe Reddy's should be looked at carefully. We haven't yet done that, but I'll come back to you on that.
Okay, we will let you go on that note, Dipen. We know you have a vacation to go for, so we're going to let you go and enjoy that. We'll see you again through the course of the year, plenty of times, but you have a good holiday. Well, that's the word coming in from Dipen Sheth of HDFC Securities. But now let's get a little more granular. We have ASHISH Tater who joins in as well to give us some of the long-term fundamental ideas that he has picked out for us. Hi ASHISH, and a Happy New Year to you. You've given us a couple of stocks. Let me start off first with TGB Banquets. This stock has been a really good performer. In August of last year, it was at about 50 rupees, and now it's trading at close to 120. What could be the triggers that could take it further upwards?
Happy New Year, CNBC TV audience, Sonia and Anuj. If you see TGB Hotels, we think this is going to be a game changer for 2016 in specific, because the company now is going to hive off its property, Surat property, and will get a cash that will realize and monetize entire debt, and still will be left with 120 odd crores. If you look into the BSC circular that the company made, gave the business plan for, that they will look into entering into ready-made food businesses. I was just looking at the proxy bets. You are getting a company that will have a potential to do 100 odd crore of sales this year, backed by almost, because they will be spending this entire cash that now they will be sitting on for further expansion. We think this is one big business proxy that is available. Now what they are doing is they will still be managing the properties under them, but they will only be managing it. So the entire asset-light model structure will definitely help them in terms of growing fast. And the second aspect that their business is, it's about quick service restaurants and the ready-made food businesses that they have talked about in the presentation. We think this can be a game changer, because people then will look at it from a different perspective rather than just a hotel stock with asset heavy company with not being able to deliver. So a lot of changes that is going to happen in this particular stock, and we feel that this can be a stock to watch for 2016. I would just like to put a target of 160, 180, but we would just see a revision over there also. We just want that the company delivers as they have been talking about. Once that happens, we think this will be just a beginning of the story.
Okay, Amulya Leasing and Finance, over the last 2 years, it's been an 8-bagger already, ASHISH. What's the story here?
In fact, Anuj, Amulya, we identified somewhere around at 55 odd mark when they started picking stake into a subsidiary, and we felt that this is a company now belong to APL Apollo Group, the Bihar Tube company, and is available at a mouth-watering level. If you see the next year projected sales, they will do roughly around 250-280 odd crores. The leader in the pack does roughly around market cap to sales of 4 times, and this is available at a 0.35 times sales. This is a company where APL Apollo Tube has got tremendous distribution network setup, because remember, APL Apollo is 5,000 odd crore sales company that has the potential to do that in next 2 years. So their distribution network is set. All they have to do is incline this particular business with them, and that is exactly their plan. So going forward, what will happen is they will spend a lot less in terms of distribution network, but their sales will be in terms of multiples. So we feel that the sales will be easily going to touch 400-500 crores over next 2.5 years, which is roughly 2.5 times. But the entire thing will get translated into bottom line in a very high margin business, and that means you are getting a company from a promoter which have got tremendous investors. If you see APL Apollo investors, they are very good, but this is because it's a very small company of the same group. Mutual funds do not take interest right now, but once this becomes big, I think this will be one big opportunity even from here on. We had a target of 180 and 225 for this fiscal. We think this will be multi-bagger even from that level. So this is another stock which we feel can be a stock even to watch for 2016, just like we recommended it for 2014 and 15.
Okay, fair enough. And the final stock that you've recommended is JB Chemicals. This stock has doubled in the last 2 years. What's the expectation in the next 2 years?
See, Sonia, we have been very fortunate to identify Aurobindo Pharma at 155, Wokhard at 135. We have been just trying to find a story, and what I learned from my research was that when a company starts focusing on the business and product development and enter new geographies, the margin delta that expands is very high. And this is one proven management. They hived off their business in 2011. Now they have again scaled back their opportunity to that 1,000 crore sales, which they used to do in 2011. Now if you see the market cap, roughly 40% is in their cash. So you are getting a 1,000 odd crore sales company at somewhere around 2,300 crore, adjusted 1.3 times, 1.4 times sales. So there is a tremendous opportunity in terms of re-rating. The second trigger that I feel is going to be very big for JB Chemical is the ANDA approval that we see for this year, at least 6 to 7 approval coming, and the new geographies that the company is targeting at. So we think there is a lot of exciting thing happening in this particular company, and we again have a 4-figure target on this stock from longer term perspective, but for this fiscal we have a target of 450 backed by 600 rupees from next 8 to 12 month perspective. So that's being conservative, but we think this is another stock that we feel will be a stock to watch for 2016.
Alright Ashish, thanks for giving us those fundamental ideas. Those, as you can see, are some key stocks to watch in 2016. TGB Hotels, Amulya Leasing and JB Chemicals are the stocks that FortuneWizard.com has identified for you. On that note, we will wrap up with this edition of Taking Stock. You guys have a good weekend.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 16 years of business leadership.